Start recording. Here we are, recording the first ever monologue for the channel. Is it? I don't even know what the channel is at the moment. Is it the EMTB podcast? Is it just my channel making videos about e-bikes? I'm not sure. Yeah, very confusing times at the moment. Anyway, to start off with, basically what I'm doing is I'm testing out all the software that I've got here, testing out the equipment. I've got lights around the place in my office, and we'll just see how it goes. The podcast so far has been great. Thanks to everyone that's watched. I really enjoyed doing them. I've only done 4 so far, but of the 4 I've done, I've already seen improvements along the way, and I think people are starting to get a good feel for it. And hopefully, there's going to be some like reoccurring topics, and going to get to a point where there's sort of like parts of the podcast that become quite familiar. For this feature today, my plan was to just talk a bit about the industry at the moment, what's going on right now. I'm going to try and share my screen. I don't actually know, don't know how to do it, to work out how this works. Yeah, the first thing really, we should have a little graphic that comes up that says EMTB News. So let's start off talking about the Bosch lightweight motor that's just come out. So hopefully you're seeing this. Here's Bosch. They have just released their new Performance Line SX motor. Now, this is a lightweight motor from Bosch. It's been a while. There's a lot of other brands in the industry that have already created lightweight motors, and finally, we're seeing one from Bosch. So it does seem like they've spent a lot of time kind of perfecting this, because their first attempt at a lightweight motor, and we're getting 600 watts of power. Now, that is pretty impressive for a lightweight motor, one that only weighs 2 kilos, and the complete system weight is only 4 kilos. So 2 kilos for the motor, 2 kilos for the battery, and it is producing a maximum of 55 newton meters of torque. Now, I think these figures are often to be taken with a pinch of salt, because you don't always see that 55 newton meter figure, and you don't always see that 600 watt figure. I think personally, it's going to be pretty hard to actually get that amount of power out of this motor. And the reason I say that is usually those maximum watt outputs happen at really high cadence at levels. So you're going to have to be pedaling like a hamster in a wheel, I reckon. So, my feelings are that, yeah, it's interesting. I think it could be a really good way of getting people into e-bikes. I think lightweight e-bikes are quite a good halfway house for a lot of people. What else we got going on? Oh yeah, the other thing that interested me was, you get the 400 watt hour battery which goes in the down tube, and then also there's a range extender, 250 watt range extender. And I know there's a lot of brands which are incorporating that onto the frame in really quite clever ways. Talk about that in a minute. Let's now, I need to stop sharing my screen. How do I do that? Let's talk about new bikes. So the one brand that stands out this week that has just released a new bike is, where is it? Is Whyte. So Whyte Bikes have just released their new lightweight e-bike, which is the E-Lyte, and they've got the 150 and the 140. Now the 150 is the one that interests me. More of an enduro spec bike. Let's click on it. Let's have a look at this bike. What do we got? Nice new SRAM wireless shifting. I've still not used one of these yet. I really want to give them a go. Obviously, as we've mentioned, we've got the new Bosch motor. How sleek is that down tube? I mean, that's impressive. Talk about stealth. And then you've got this range extender giving you even more range, and then this space higher up in the frame for your water bottle. Now, for me, that is a big win, because so many of these lightweight bikes, they have the range extender option. Specialized do this. They've got range extender, but it goes where the bottle goes. So you can either go further with a load more power, but then you've got to find another way of carrying your water. So this one gives you the option of carrying both at the same time. Love that. No way. So they come with Hope brakes from factory. That's impressive. So anyway, this new bike from Whyte is of a lot of interest. Hopefully, I really want to try one of these bikes out soon. I must admit, my previous experiences with lightweight e-bikes has been a bit hit and miss. Originally, tried the first generation Levo SL, and that had 240 watts of peak power, which is not a lot, not in comparison with this new Bosch motor, which is kicking out 600 watts. And it was also 35 newton meters of torque. That was the official figure they put out. And yeah, you can kind of tell that the torque figures were not good. And in my opinion, not my kind of bike. Very much a bike for lightweight riders or somebody, basically purist mountain bikers that want a little bit of extra power. Um, and then the other bike that also did not impress me back in the day was the Lapierre E-Zesty. The first generation of that had the Fazua motor, 250 watts peak power, and that actually had a 55 newton meter torque figure. That to me was not my kind of bike. Maybe if you rode in flatter environments or trail centers, that might have been a bike for you, but for me, yeah, not ideal. One lightweight bike that did impress me, more modern lightweight bike, was the Trek Fuel EXE, and that had the TQ motor, 300 watts of power, 50 I think newton meters of torque, um, and that actually felt grunty. That had power, and the big standout thing for that motor was that it was so quiet. So that to me was like a good reason to go lightweight because you don't have that whine of an e-bike motor. It basically felt like a regular mountain bike, but with that extra bit of power to give you that assistance. Brilliant bike for big mountain days where sometimes you have to push the bike to get up the hill, and then also excellent for trail center riding. Was the perfect trail center bike in my opinion. That was the Trek Fuel EXE. Ah, this bike I need to mention. And the reason I'm mentioning it is because previous guest, Rob rides EMTB, he has recently been talking about, and I've actually been talking to him about this bike. Now, this bike belongs to, or at least the person I know that's riding it currently is Chris Smith. So it's the High Bike Enduro FR Freeride, and it is being sold for a bargain price at the moment. You're talking of less than 4.5 grand. I know a few weeks ago it was £4,200. And look at the spec that you get on it. You get Öhlins suspension. I mean, that's the main standout thing. It's the Öhlins suspension. So if you're looking for a big hitting e-bike, and if you do laps of like bike parks without an uplift assist, perhaps this could be the bike for you. I know Chris is raving about it, and what he doesn't know about e-bikes is not worth knowing. So that to me is the bargain of the week right now. So I saw it currently for sale at the electric bike shop for £4,499, and they currently have it in most sizes apart from a size small. So yeah, that is a bargain bike. I mean, you could literally buy it, strip the forks and shock off it, sell it for parts. You might even make a profit on it. So that to me is a cracking bit of kit. Let's have a look at this guy. Now, I had a little chat with this guy earlier on in the week, and he has been making the most incredible, magical footage. I can't describe it as anything more than that. I don't know if you've seen it yet. It's gone pretty viral in the road bike world. But this guy Quek, he's from Malaysia, and he makes commercials for television for the Asian market. But he's decided to make a bike build video of his specialized road bike. And the level that he goes to create this stuff is just mind-boggling. He's shown me a little bit of how he does it and how he shoots the before and after. And actually, what he's also doing is on his social media. He's been showing you exactly how it's done. It's almost like a magician showing you his favorite tricks, how he does it. So this is something that's really impressed me, and I would love to speak with him in more detail on the podcast, hoping to get him on soon. And I really want to see him do a bike build of an e-bike. And it seems like he's got a bit of a thing going on with Specialized. So it'd be great to see him do something with maybe a Levo SL Gen 2. suggestion there for Specialized. But yeah, please check out his page and give him a follow. I mean, he doesn't need much help right now. His footage is unbelievable. I'm sure he's got a lot more to come. So yeah, hopefully future podcast guest. That's another thing I want to say. If there's anybody that you follow in the industry or feel like needs a bit more of exposure and would be a great guest for the podcast, then please let me know. I'd love to just meet interesting people, people that are involved in the industry, or like people that are already well known. And I may have already tried to contact them and had no reply yet. But please do let me know in the comments if there's anybody that you'd like me to speak to on the podcast. Um, and the other thing is brands, any brands you'd like me to speak to. So, I mean, there's a lot of brands out there creating some really interesting bikes right now. So, I think in terms of talking to people in the industry behind the scenes, there's a whole host of people I would like to speak to. So hopefully that will happen in the new year. Now, for this current episode, I think we'll wind it up here. But hopefully you enjoyed this, and next week might do another one. Hopefully something's happened between now and then in the bike industry, because I know not a lot's happening right now. There's a lot of stuff in the industry that is not quite so pleasant going on, and that sort of stuff I don't really want to talk about. I don't want to go into too much detail because I know we're getting a bit of that come down from COVID, dare I say it again. And we're, in my opinion, we're just heading back to the kind of mean. We had that massive peak after COVID in the bike industry. And I think now we're starting to see that reversion to mean. So going into 2024, the bike industry might look a lot like it did pre COVID. And the same goes for opportunities, jobs in the industry, whatever it might be. But I think good times will come. We've just got to get through this sort of winter, shall we say, in the bike world. Please give us a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Cheers.